Okay. My opposition brought up, again, another point of contention, but I would like to reiterate what fanaticism is, what zealous alignment is. Religion, you can be influenced by something, correctly. You can be influenced by religion, by your brother dying, by anything that touches you. That is influence. But what you choose to do with that is the point of contention that this topic is not specifically focused around. It is the actual influence. If you were to fanatically follow any law today, you can do as much damage as someone 1,000 years ago, 1,000 years in the future. It's all about fanaticism. You cannot fanatically align yourself with something and fanatically follow it without any hint of moral or forethought into it. And I'd like to talk about how fanaticism has completely changed religion from what it should be to what it is today. You have moral theology, sin. Sin can be viewed as anything that endangers the ideal relationship between an individual or God, or any diverse from the perceived ideal order of human living. Correct me if I'm wrong, but mass genocide in Sharia law adverts from the perceived ideal order for human living. That technically is sin, but it's been so contorted and just a malignant fascist idea that they use it to do harm in the name of doing good. Buddhism, one of the religions that has laws against sin, believes in karma, where suffering is the inevitable consequence of greed, anger, and delusion. You have Buddhist countries, Japan, abortion is legal. In a country where religion has affected a law, the law is still legal. There is no fanatic insight into this law. There's no zealous alignment to this. They're not taking it to the extreme. Therefore, it works. An influence happened, and a good thing came from it. Muslims see sin as anything that goes against the commands of God. In Islam, only prophets and angels are considered sinless. Sin is an act, not a state of being. I'll take from the Quran, Surah 12, Ayat 53. For man's very soul incites into evil unless my Lord shows mercy. It's natural law. It's part of Lockean philosophy. All man is inherently evil. The religion has created laws to help maintain that, to help keep that in check. Therefore, laws have been created to further man's advance, not to hinder them, like Sharia law has. Sharia law is a perfect example of a perfectly good teaching turned fanatic. You can make anything good evil if you just change the words. Justice can be used to bring righteous order, or it can be used to bring righteous order. It depends on which righteous order is correct. Is it the Crusades, the mass Genesis? That's fanaticism. Or is it laws that teach that no man should harm another, no man should steal? Both laws, both part of the same thing. One fanatic, one not. Fritta, please, am I pronouncing that right?
What?
Fitra?
I don't know.
What?
What do you...
You laughed, so I thought you'd do something.
Oh.
However, it's an Arabic word
Sorry.
that has no exact English equivalent.
That,
It means instinct or common sense. There's a teaching of common sense. Now, where in Sharia law is this teaching? Because they admit it. It doesn't fit their beliefs, so they take it apart. It's fanatic. Or, if they do abide by it, they contort it to fit their own beliefs. Just like Stalin, just like Mao, just like Hitler.
you said it right, by the way. You're welcome.
I'd like to bring up Pascal's wager as an attempt to bring logic into what could possibly be a very emotional topic. Pascal's wager comes from apologetics, the theological science of religious discipline, or defending or proving the truth of religious doctrine through systematic argument. Pascal's wager goes through the following logic. God is or God is not. Reason cannot decide between the two alternatives. You must wager. There is no option. Let us weigh the gain and loss in wagering that God is. Let us estimate these two chances. If you gain all. If you lose nothing. Wager then, without hesitation, that he is, there is an infinity of infinitely happy life to gain, a chance of gain against a finite number of chances of loss. But some cannot believe. They should then at least learn your inability to believe. Pascal's wager states that, for simple terms, you believe or you don't. Doesn't matter. If you believe, you might be right and you gain everything. If you don't believe, you might be wrong, but you lose everything. There is no harm in applying this logic to laws. Why not allow religious influence to affect laws? Not fanatically, but influence them. You gain everything, but lose nothing. There's no reason not to take the argument. I believe there are some obvious examples to go against it, but Pascal's wager, fragment 418 has established the price of the wager. Readers have been fixated on one part of Pascal's reasoning. It doesn't conclude with a QED at the end of a mathematical part, meaning there is no end. It exists or doesn't exist. It's Pascal's wager. I'm like reading this. Damn, it's bad. The original wager was set out in section 233 of Pascal's posthumously published thoughts. Give me a minute. Pascal asked the reader to analyze humankind's position, where our actions can be enormously consequential, but our understanding of those consequences is flawed. While we can discern a great deal through reason, we are ultimately forced to gamble. I'd like to bring attention to the first part. We analyze our position. We wager, but we don't understand the consequences. Just like Sharia law, a wager has been made, but the consequences have not been understood. People suffer. It's fanaticism. A wager is made and a belief has been cast. However, if you allow the same thing, a belief can be cast, a wager can be made, but no one has to suffer. Great laws can be enacted.